Action. All right, here's our glued up halves. They're all dry now. So we take that apart, and there we have our horses back in almost one piece. Still missing a head and a tail, but we'll take care of that. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is divide off our muscle areas, blocks, I guess you could call it. Here's one here, and then there's one back here. Now you can see where these muscles come in there. Upper muscles, right there, back here. Same thing on this side. In this book here, you can see them, they're pretty well wiped out there. There, you can see them real well. So anyway, so let's just go ahead and lightly pencil those in. We have one that comes up around here, just like this. Goes down, and this one comes up and meets it, just like that. Then we have this area back here, like that. Okay, this one comes up like that there. So we'll work on this side first. So we don't want to touch these two areas until we get the thing rounded off. Now, on the front of the horse, we want it to come sort of like this. This is the withers right here. They call the withers. And when we're doing this, what we have to remember now is we have a saddle on this horse. So where a horse would normally be thinner in this area up here than this area back here in the hips, because we have a saddle on here, we're going to have to leave this fairly thick and thin it down as we go along. Okay? So let's just quickly outline these areas. There you can see the shape of the horse, his belly, how quickly it comes together there just by outlining the two muscle areas. This one here could actually come up. It comes up in circles like that there. All right. So I'm going to continue doing it on this side, and I'm going to start taking some off the top of the saddle here also as I go along, and then and some here on the back. You want these areas to really have a rounded look. You don't want that corner carved look where you just came in and you knocked off the sharp edges and painted it. See there? It really quickly comes together. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing this, and I'll invite you back here in a minute after I get it done quite a bit. Okay? Okay, I've got these both sides now fairly well rounded. Don't worry about his crease in his rear end back here yet. It's not that important. We're going to get to that later on. There is a couple areas here. What you want to do in this area here, you can see that right there, where these two legs go back together, and up front where they go back together, is just kind of round those out don't want them just to go straight back together there. Like that. Don't worry about doing it in the front, we'll do that here in a little bit. Okay, so now we've got his legs pretty well rounded up to his belly. We're going to do more rounding here on the belly as we carve the saddle, but right now that's enough. So now what we're going to do is we're going to outline these two muscle areas on the front legs. Just lightly indicate them. That's about all we can do up front here, because we have to start removing material up in this area. So let's go ahead and do this side over here. As much as we can, just bring it around to the front, stop, and do the other one. Carving these areas is really where a book on anatomy comes in handy. Because if you get the anatomy right, that's what really makes the horse look good. Same thing goes for carving caricature humans or anything. You got to get that anatomy right, or it just won't look right. And the same goes in this area up here. We'll be whittling on that more as we get this area up in here rounded down. Okay? So there, that's looking pretty good right now. Oh, and there's one area back here on the back that a lot of people probably just don't even think about, but it adds a little realism to your horse that others might overlook. Okay, let me point out something here that a lot of people when they're carving will probably overlook, but I always like to put these small details in there just as sort of a signature of my carvings, and also because that's the way it really is. Being as this leg is relaxed and this one is supporting the weight of the rear of the horse, what happens anatomically to the position of these two legs? Well, just stand up and relax one leg of yourself and stand there and see what happens. The leg that's supporting the weight is higher, the hip anyway, is higher than the leg that's relaxed. So this side of the hip on the relaxed leg drops. Okay? So while you're carving that, go ahead and do that. Carve, if you want to. You don't have to, but I like to do those things. Go ahead and carve that side down a little. So you get a little slope to it. Nobody will probably ever even notice that you did that, but you'll know it. And that's what's really important, that you took the time to indicate that little bitty detail on your horse. See it there? I hope it shows up. So anyway, now let's get to the saddle. Get you a regular knife, because Old Reliable won't be able to do this in here. And just take out, just start on one side, and just curve that around and take out part of the saddle. My hand's probably in the way here. just narrowing down these areas here. This is where a carving glove really comes in handy. This is how I do this. I can feel that knife tip just bouncing against my glove. Anyway, whittle it down until you get back here on the back part of the seat, so you got a nice rounded area back there. That's where that saddle's going to go. Now up here on the front, same goes, and here's where we start cutting in this area here, okay? So I can switch back to over-level here and do that pretty quickly. There. Switch it back over here, and my two grandsons were up here over the weekend, and I was showing them in carving that being able to carve away from you under control is as important as being able to carve towards you, as I'm sure you found out. And again, when you're doing this, keep this horse up against your chest so you have a lot of control over the thing you're carving. You don't want that thing flopping around out there, because that's when accidents happen. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and carve that back around again. And as you're carving that glued seam, this is where it was important to carve away that glue, or not carve away, wash away that glue as we glued it up, because you don't want a lot of that glue left on the surface of your carving, or else it'll dull your knife as you go across there. Almost got her. I'm carving an A-fork saddle, what's called an A-fork saddle on this horse. If you don't know what that is, you go look it up, because there's different kinds of saddles built on different kinds of saddle trees, which determine the shape of the cantle up here, or back here, and the fork up front there. Alright? So there we go, we've got that pretty well indicated. Now I can go ahead, coming down on the back part of the seat here, and round this area out. So I know exactly which way my saddle is heading. Like that, see? And the same thing goes on the front. We'll just come right down there like that. Take out a chip. Now I do the same thing on the other side. don't carve many horses. I really ought to carve more. So usually by the time I get ready to do another horse, I've forgotten what I did the last time, which is pretty much the case right now. So I'm just kind of winging it here. This is where reliable doesn't do too good in these areas here because of the back area back here. But a knife, longer knife blade will work real good. What I'm doing now is I'm just getting rid of all the surface area, flat surface area of the carving. Get her all ready to start on that saddle. Here you can see where reliable bounced up against that side there. He can't do everything, but he does an awful lot. Take off there. I don't want to mess with this front too much until I get my head carved. Do a time check on the video here. How much time we got used up? Why don't you just tell me? These hand signals, I can't understand what they are.
9:30.
Okay, she says about 30 minutes. So, I'm a good stopping spot right here, which I think is right there. I'm not too worried about this area right down in here because we're going to run a cinch across here, and that's going to hide a lot of that there. So anyway, there we've got the legs indicated, the saddle's indicated up there. It's just about where we want it to come back and do the rest of the shapes on it. It's still thick enough in here. We have lots of material left there to whittle around on. And in the next video, we'll hopefully finish up the whole back part of this horse, except for the tail and the head, which will be in forthcoming videos, okay? So until next time, I'll talk to you later.